Hello and welcome to week 4. This week's video lecture is all about fallacies and how we can apply critical thinking to overcome these thinking errors in ourselves and in others. So welcome to week 4. This is the most difficult week of the course, so please pay close attention to this week's topics. This week we are going to take a closer look at Felicia's reasoning and discuss how to distinguish between deductive and inductive thinking. We are also going to discuss ways to find examples of fallacies in political debates, news outlets, and social media, as well as strategies for using logical thinking for developing strong arguments. Lastly, we will discuss fallacies and the persuasive essay. So, logical fallacies are errors that occur in arguments, such as deductive and inductive thinking errors and other reasoning fallacies. A deductive fallacy is an argument that is invalid. The conclusion is false. Examples include the fallacy of division, circular reasoning, and either or fallacy. And inductive fallacy is similar to a deductive fallacy, except that is based on an argument that does not provide enough support for the conclusion. So some examples include hasty generalization, post hoc ergo propter hoc, and false analogy. Other reasoning fallacies occur when the assumption is made because things are a certain way, such as the is-ought fallacy. Well, we are all guilty of fallacies, but using critical thinking will help us become more aware of these errors in our thinking to identify them and overcome them in our daily conversation. Political debates, news media outlets, social media platforms, and blogs are hotbeds for fallacies. Using logical thinking requires the ability to question and analyze information to determine its credibility, and we can do this by using the Socratic questioning. There are 6 types of Socratic questions, and they include clarify thinking and understanding, challenge assumptions, examine evidence and rationale, consider alternative perspectives, and consider implications and consequences. To assess the validity and reliability of arguments, we can rely on the scientific method, which includes a series of steps. So the first step is to define the problem or ask a question. The second step is do background research. Third, construct a hypothesis. Fourth, test or conduct an experiment. Fifth, analyze results and draw conclusions. And the last step is to communicate the results. So in week 1, we selected a topic and identified a topic. In week 2, we brainstormed some ideas for developing a strong thesis statement. In week 3, we developed a strong thesis statement, gathered peer-reviewed articles to support our thesis statement. Now we are ready to create an outline to organize our information. So according to Kirby and Goodpaster 2007, there are several tips we can follow to ensure that our arguments are based on sound reasoning. And they include make only warranted assumptions. Premises should be relevant to supporting the conclusion. Do not omit, exaggerate, or undervalue the strength of specific data. Arguments should be clear, fair, and provide sufficient quantity of evidence to support its conclusion. So by the end of this topic, you should be able to answer the following question. Is my argument based on logic? Do I have sufficient evidence to support my argument? Can my argument be refuted by others? Well, this concludes this week's video lecture. I look forward to seeing your practice thesis statements and your research to support your arguments. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I look forward to another great week with all of you. Have a wonderful day.